What's up, guys? It's Clay again, and today we're going to be talking about the conference championships that are going to be happening this weekend. First of all, wow, that was some of the craziest divisional games that I've ever seen, especially that Vikings and Saints one. And that play, that was incredible with Stephon Diggs pulling that out, and that was ridiculous. And I'm kind of glad for that organization. So much heartbreak with 4 Super Bowl losses that they can advance this championship, and good luck to Minnesota facing Philadelphia. They got their hands full going against that front seven. But anyway, that's not the first matchup we're going to be talking about today. The first matchup we're going to be discussing is the New England Patriots versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Vegas has the Patriots favored pretty heavily. And honestly, I think that's kind of disrespectful to the Jacksonville Jaguars considering how well they played this year. I have Jacksonville winning 28-21. I think Blake Bortles and them are going to actually do it. The weakness of this Patriots defense is their run defense. Their run defense is not good at all. Their secondary has shaped up this year with Stephon Gilmore and Malcolm Butler playing well, but their run defense is not too great, and they can't really rush the passer that well. They got Dietrich Wise and Trey Flowers, the 2 guys from Arkansas, but still they've got some problems rushing the passer. So that's going to be key, is making Blake Bortles feel uncomfortable in the pocket, because obviously we've seen in his career, if you make him uncomfortable, then he's going to make mistakes, right? So that's kind of the deal. Also, the New England Patriots, it just got announced actually a couple hours ago that Josh McDaniels is set to become the Indianapolis Colts head coach. So I don't know what's going on in that front office. And obviously we know Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels have had their problems with, the sideline tantrum by Brady and everything. But I don't know. I guess we'll see how it shakes out. But one of the things that's kind of distorted by Jacksonville's latest performance against the Steelers is the score at the end, which was 45-42. I don't care what you say to me. Jacksonville dominated that football game from the very first snap. You could just tell they were winning the line of scrimmage, getting pushed on the offensive side of the ball, stopping the run on the defensive side of the ball. Really, the only offensive production really the Pittsburgh Steelers had was deep shots on 4th downs and, go get them by Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown, just kind of Big Ben throwing it up. And A.J. Boye getting burned a couple times, which, I don't know. Maybe A.J. Boye catches that ball 8 out of 10 times, but he didn't catch it that time. And the Steelers got a couple breaks, but it wasn't good enough. And Jacksonville honestly dominated that game. I'll tell you, Calais Campbell, that dude is a monster inside the line of scrimmage. I'm telling you, that guy, he's just incredible. The guy's awesome, and all those other cats on that front seven, they're really, really good. And that's something that they've kind of been disrespected throughout this whole process. Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye were talking after the game, and they said that the Pittsburgh Steelers had commented before the game that it was going to be a cakewalk and all that, and they were kind of throwing shade at them, and they kind of took it personally, and you could tell that by the way they were playing throughout the football game. And so, I think this team's got a little moxie about them, and we're going to see what they're made out of going into Gillette. But I honestly think this is a really fun matchup. I don't think Tom Brady is going to be hoisting that Lombardi this year, honestly, even if he wins this game. But that's a video for next week when we talk about the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's what I kind of think. And again, I have Jacksonville winning 28-21. So the NFC Championship this week is going to be the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. Wow. These were 2 kind of surprising games. I had the Vikings winning, but I thought they would kind of win in a more demanding fashion. Now, obviously, everybody saw this play by Stephon Diggs, and I don't know what Marcus Williams is doing, but dear Lord, a blind grandmother could have made that tackle. Even if you're not trying to get the pass interference call and, the spot of the foul penalty, still, you've got to at least play soft and force him out of bounds. You can't just let him hurdle you and run for the touchdown, but that's ridiculous. As an NFL player, you've got to be able to make a tackle like that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter now because Minnesota Vikings will be in the NFC Championship. The Philadelphia Eagles, this was the only pick we got wrong this week, was because we picked the Falcons to win. This one really, really surprised me. And honestly, I was disappointed with the Falcons. Like, they had so much going for them. They were, rolling in. They rolled into the playoffs, beat the Rams, who everybody was excited about, with Sean McVay, Jared Goff, all those guys down in L.A., they shocked them, and then they roll in dead to Philadelphia. I mean, I get it was really, really cold during that game, but still, it seems like they just kind of ran out of gas going into the playoffs like a lot of people do. But anyway, that also doesn't really matter because the Philadelphia will be playing in Lincoln Financial Field in this NFC Championship, trying to bring home their first trophy to Philadelphia. So here's the deal. The key for the Philadelphia Eagles in this game is going to be establishing a run game, okay? This was a bit of a struggle for them against Atlanta because, they had the early fumble and then they kind of picked it up as the game went on, but you can't turn it over against the Minnesota Vikings. They dominate time of possession. And Case Keenum, a lot of people put down the guy, but you can't doubt him anymore. I mean, the guy just makes the play when the play needs to be made. And I'm telling you, Minnesota, I think they're going to win a Super Bowl, but again, that's a different conversation. But he has way more weapons over there at Minneapolis than they do on the Philadelphia Eagles team. I mean, I get they went out in free agency and picked up, Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey, people like that. But the way to build a team is not through free agency. And I think Minnesota's kind of proved that because they've made a very, very good defensive team. They're the number one run defense, and in my opinion, the number one overall defensive team. I think in the end, this is a very, very low-scoring game. I think Minnesota's going to win this football game 17-10. But the key for the Eagles is also going to be protecting Nick Foles. I'm telling you, one of the most underrated, really two of the most underrated pass rushers in the National Football League are Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin. I'm telling you, those guys are so quick. They've got great hand movement, and they can get around these big mammoth tackles and really get after your quarterback. Another key for this Minnesota team to be successful at Lincoln Financial is going to be establishing a run game. Obviously, it's always cold up there in Philadelphia, and when you're facing these wind gusts and this really, really cold weather, you can't just throw it 40, 50 times and expect to be successful. You've got to establish a run game, and you got to get Latavius Murray and Jake McKinnon going. I think if you do that, that is key. And for the Eagles, to stop those two guys, it's going to be Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. They're arguably, up there with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram as two of the best defensive line duos. I think they got to take control for this game and give their offense more opportunities. I think if they do that, I think they have a real chance to win this football game. But honestly, I don't see them doing it. I think Minnesota wins this one 17-10. I don't think they're going to need a last minute, go get it play type of thing, sort of Hail Mary, to do it this time. But I do think Minnesota wins. I think it's going to be low scoring, obviously, because it's going to be real slow in that cold weather. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. And subscribe, hit that like if you enjoyed, and we'll be coming out with more videos this offseason and next week for the Super Bowl. Thanks.